Continuous Testing Live, and we're here at CA World with my friend Jeffrey Hughes. So Jeff, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, and especially tell us about this really cool shirt you're wearing.
Well, Eric, it's good to be here. I am Director of Product Marketing for Test Data Manager here at CA Technologies, and the shirt is how you can make continuous testing or make your apps rock through DevOps, and these shirts are awesome. They're the hit of the entire show today.
Really cool shirts.
I was lucky to get one.
I hope that I get to have one myself today. That is a really cool shirt. So it says, be a DevOps rockstar. Now, of course, you do that with continuous testing.
Yep.
So, Jeff, I've been here at the show and hearing a lot about, a little buzzword about GDPR.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what that's all about and how it's going to be impacting enterprises here in North America, especially in light of testing?
Yeah, well, GDPR is the General Data Protection Regulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's an EU regulation that is going to be going into effect in May of 2018. And basically what it is any company that's managing EU citizens' data has to now manage that data, be able to remove that data, control it. If a user wants their data pulled out of testing and not used for testing purposes,
right,
you have to be able to comply to that. So it's a regulation that is causing companies in the EU or any company, even in North America, that's doing business in the EU that manages citizens' data from those countries, is going to be subject to that regulation. And
I'm telling you, when I hear compliance issues like this, I hear a lot of dollar signs. Is this going to be pretty expensive for a lot of these companies to respond to?
Yeah, so penalties will go into effect,
okay,
and it basically amounts to 20 million euros, up to 20 million euros.
That's insane.
Or up to 4% of a company's revenue.
Wow.
So it is significant. They are trying to get people's attention to adhere to this new regulation.
Okay, so I'm an enterprise in North America and I want to respond to this new regulation with GDPR. What do you recommend in terms of how these enterprises should get started? And really they should be responding to this right away.
Yes, well, time is of the essence,
yeah.
Obviously. So companies, the first thing they need to do is understand where their test data is. And so the way I look at it is become GDPR compliant also provides these additional benefits of getting a handle on your test data. Where is it located? Do you have the ability right now to find and locate test data?
Right.
Because if an end user comes to you and an EU citizen and says, I want my data removed from all your testing, you've got to know where that test data is. So the first thing you have to be able to do is identify where the test data resides in your environment.
Okay, now that's an interesting point that you made, because I was listening to a presentation you gave earlier and you were talking about Test Data Manager from CA that really helps to kind of surface a lot of this. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. Well, Test Data Manager has the capability, a profiling capability, if you will, to go through and scan your environment and identify where the PI data resides. So if a company says, I have no idea where my data resides right now, you can use this to scan for PI data and then tag that data or flag that data as being safe to use or not safe to use. So one of the features of the profiling capability of Test Data Manager is this ability to identify PI data. So it's a very powerful thing, and again, that's like the first step that you have to do to getting a handle on GDPR compliance.
Okay. Now, great information about GDPR, but another thing that I've been hearing around CA World is that you've been announcing a new solution called VTDM. Now, tell us what exactly is VTDM and what are the benefits of that?
Well, VTDM is it stands for Virtual Test Data Manager. It is an add-on feature of Test Data Manager. And so basically what it does is it provides the capability for companies to quickly and easily give test data to all of their end testers. We do that by creating what we call a gold copy of the data. So it's a subset of the data that you want to use for a particular testing or testing group. And then you make what are called clones of that data. And these clones are very small instances that represent replicas of the actual data. So the benefit of that is you're not using a lot of storage space, and yet you're representing the entire data set that you want to test with. It's very quick, it's a self-service type of approach. So testers now are in control. They can get the data when they need it and where they need it, in the quantities that they need it, and they don't have to worry about stepping on other testers by using somebody else's data.
Okay, so for those of us who are familiar with Test Data Manager, how is Virtual Test Data Manager differentiated from that?
Well, at least from a test data management standpoint, we provide a number of capabilities with the product. One of them is masking and subsetting. There's a lot of products out there that do masking and subsetting. We also provide the capability to do synthetic data generation, which is basically building fake data. And avoiding PI issues and compliance issues altogether. And now we've introduced VTDM, which is this virtual test data. It's another way to deliver test data to the end testers that need it. So it's a great feature. We were super excited to announce it here at CA World.
So if I want to go check out VTDM or Virtual Test Data Manager, what would you recommend?
Right. So if you are a current customer of CA Test Data Manager, then you'll notice that there is a virtual or a VTDM tab on the latest version 4.2 of TDM. So it'll automatically appear, and then there's some links that you can go to, some videos that you can watch, and you can learn all about VTDM and start to use it through through those options on the portal itself. If you're not a customer, then you can request a demo through one of our outstanding solution architects and pre-sales engineers. Okay,
now that sounds great. So that's it for Continuous Testing Live, but if you want to learn more about continuous testing, we encourage you to go to whenShiftHappens.io. That's whenShiftHappens.io. See you next time.